Rise, Roar, Revolt. RRR is the Indian film that is taking Hollywood and the mainstream film industry by storm. It came out of nowhere. It is an absolute masterpiece of a film. As Robert Zemeckis once pointed out, speaking of his own masterpiece, Back to the Future, every director's got one of those. One masterpiece in him, one lifetime achievement. This is one director's masterpiece that has the energy of 5 lifetime masterpieces all rolled into one. You have got to see this film. And this, dear sailors and star nuts, is Swords and Starships Channel. I am Captain Garrett, and this is my review of RRR, the most masculine, action-packed, ultimate, off the walls, completely high testosterone, revolutionary, freedom, loving movie you are going to see all year. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Chris Gore of Filmthreat, Hail Filmthreat, had to talk me into seeing this one. And probably if you've seen it, he talked you into seeing it too. So let's talk about some, right off the top. Here are some of the highlights. This film is gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. The sets, the environments, the style of the cinematography, there is love and care and craftsmanship. And this is the key word, beauty. Beauty just infused in every shot of this film. I am horrified that I did not get to see this in the theater. This is a theater movie. Even though it's outlandish, the script is tight, the story, all of the plot setups are paid off later, the characters are consistent, and the style of the action is consistent all the way through. There is an unspoken set of rules in the RRR universe that are followed. Films about rebelling against oppression are excellent. Braveheart, Gladiator, The Patriot, The Mask of Zorro, films about rebelling, Robin Hood, the Kevin Costner one. Can you believe it? I love that movie. I don't care about his English accent. Funny how the English wind up in a lot of these, right? Braveheart, The Patriot, RRR. Those English, they piss some people off, let me tell you. This is a story that is Shakespearean in scale. Like, it has tragedy, it has betrayal, it has overcoming great odds. It has one of the best philosophical lines I've heard in a long time. There is the main character, Raju, at one point is at the mercy of some bad guys. And the bad guys are telling him, because he's literally a captive in a cell, and he's doing pull-ups because he stays in great shape. Let's just say it. He is jacked. He is staying in great shape, even though he's in captivity and he's basically doomed. And the bad guy says, "You're not going to escape. We have you dead to rights." His response is incredible. He basically says, "You are entitled to work, but not to expect the result. Even though there's no hope, I'm still going to work towards my goal. You'll never get me to stop working towards my goal, because the work itself is the reward." Holy shit, that is awesome. Is freaking epic. This film is filled with stuff like that. A couple of critiques I have of the film. The British are absolute mustache-twirling, one-dimensional villains. Now, here's the funny thing, though. They really are very much like the humans in Avatar, quite frankly. And if you saw my Avatar review, you know that one of my major gripes with Avatar is that the bad guys, basically all humans, would be much more interesting if they had some moral complexity. I will just tell you, the British in this movie are the evil empire. They have zero moral complexity. They are ogres, they are cruel, and they enjoy it. There is one British character who is a good person. Olivia Morris's character, Jenny, is a very humanizing character for the English. And I actually really like this character because I feel that she sort of represents the positive side of English culture, the view of English common law, old school English morals. And so she provides a counterbalance to the pure mustache twirling evil that is Governor Scott. And normally I think that would bother me in a story, but in this case, I'm actually here for it. And I'm not exactly sure why it works so well. We are being presented with a tale which is really a simple good versus evil tale. Another reason why I feel like it works is because we are seeing this tale from the perspective of the oppressed, and this is quite literally how they see their oppressors. And I've got to tell you, I love villains. Villains are one of my favorites. Ray Stevenson as Governor Scott, you know, this actor is just slightly underutilized in this film because he has a lot of range and he can really do a morally complex, a really complex character. And he's basically doing a very one-dimensional character. He is so good as this ruthless British governor. He's perfect. The inciting incident that starts this entire film begins partially with the governor reciting something about a bullet. He tells a story about the value of a bullet, and I won't spoil it for you, but that is literally a thread that runs through the entire film all the way to the end, and it is the payoffs throughout this movie in every different way, but especially with that central philosophical point is beautiful. It's the value of a bullet. Pay attention to that. One thing I think might discourage people from RRR is thinking that they're in for a big Bollywood-style musical. There's really only there's like one major dance number. It's epic. It's awesome. Chris Gore and Filmthreat showed a great clip. Go find that, too. It's really amazing. There was a recent screening in Los Angeles where people literally just got up out of their seats in the theater during this scene and started dancing. And it was epic, and it was just so cool. And I can see why, because the scene is so amazing, and it's part of the story in a really important way as well. Music is by M.M. Keeravani. You're going to want to buy and download this soundtrack, not just for the dance and musical pieces, but seriously, the score is just epic. It's so much fun. I think that's the thing that we miss in so many movies now. It's like fun and brightness and joy, and that's really what this film has a lot of. I talk a lot about the beauty in this film. The costumes are incredible. I bring up beauty again. Why do I bring up beauty? Because look around you. You know, our society is on a trend in which we are starting to attack the mere concept of beauty. Just think of people are starting to be shamed now for things like losing weight and being healthy, being physically fit. Feminine women, masculine men, idiotic activists who are throwing soup on priceless paintings and works of art because, oh, who cares about art? We should burn it. The planet's burning anyway. Look, whether or not the planet is in peril, whether or not the human species is going to survive, art is worth saving. Music, art, literature, these are precious things. And if we are living in a time and a place where people are losing sight of that, it means we're reverting to an animalistic state. And what I will tell you I love about Indian culture, I love the color. I love how much brightness and beauty there is. I love the architecture. There's such an eye for the beauty of the forest, the buildings, the people. Let's talk about Charan Teja, who plays Raju. Raju is a police officer working for the bad guys, the British Empire. And in an early scene, they establish this guy is no one to mess around with. Can I just say something? His mustache is absolutely incredible. You have not seen a mustache this manly in like a decade. And I'm telling you right now, as it was noted in Family Guy, with great mustache comes great responsibility. And man, does this man live up to that responsibility. He is manly, he is confident, and when he sets his mind to something, he will absolutely crush everything in his path to achieve it. Shit, they need to get that guy doing like voices in games and just get his voice in everything, please. Have him do the movie trailers. He needs to do the movie trailers. Anyway, there is a darkness in the character, but there's also an incredibly likable and charming light in the character. It's not really clear as the film opens whether he's a hero, a villain, or an anti-hero. All you know is that this is a guy who is really frickin' determined. Then we're introduced to Beam, and he is a shepherd who is on a mission to recover a girl that has been abducted by the British from his tribe. Both of these characters cross paths. A friendship begins to form. Hollywood has lost this art. We have not seen a friendship between two men portrayed this way, I think, But the last one I remember that was done this well was Sam and Frodo in the Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. And this is the thing, is that you can have these bonds between two male or two female characters without it having romantic or sexual tension. And this is what frustrates me about modern Hollywood. In this race for representation, it's like they are a hammer in search of a nail, and what they're looking for is for any same-sex pair of friends to start nailing each other. There has been a dearth of stories about just men who become friends, and not just that, men who are friends in battle, on a quest together. That's how they become friends, saving a life. The characters are elevated to a slightly, not totally, but a slightly superhuman level. But it's done with a consistency of style and presentation where once the rules of this world are sort of established, and they are established early, there is some realism to the action and there's some fantasy to it at the same time. And so you never get a sense that the film is breaking its own rules. This film is a lot like a live action anime. Every action scene is great, but probably the first action scene with the main character of Raju, it's a man fighting a crowd with a stick. You gotta see it. I will say this, the physical athleticism that these actors have in this film is incredible. From the dancing to the action to the stunts, even just the way they carry themselves. This character is one of my all-time favorite movie heroes ever. I mean, he's up there with Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, Felix Legions, husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son. Anyway, and I will have my vengeance. In the 80s, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, they had bravado. They had confidence and strength. They had a mission. Why can't we have male heroes like this anymore? This film has hope. It has friendship. It has inspiration. It has a message about overcoming great odds. And it has a message about what you can accomplish when you believe in the purpose and in the mission and in the cause that you have in life. Whenever people are governed against their will for any reason, it is only ever going to create pain and suffering and misery, and it is an absolute failing of the human condition. The story of the struggle for freedom, it's just primal. We need films with patriotism. This film is full of patriotism. Effectively, if you've ever wondered, why does the Second Amendment exist in the United States? If you think it's for hunting and a well-regulated militia, you need to watch RRR because it's not. RRR is one of the best arguments for why a well-armed populace is also a free populace. I meant what I said at the top. This film, it is an absolute masterpiece. It is like 5 masterpieces rolled into one. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Spielberg. Back to the Future, Robert Zemeckis, okay? These are once-in-a-lifetime films. The Matrix, the original Matrix film, there was a vision at work. It was a huge, ambitious project. They reached for it, and they got it. It's as if Rajamouli had been wanting to make a film for years and years and years and years, and this is all the pent-up ideas, vision, and just glorious desire to create, as if it all just came to fruition at this one awesome film. Iron Age Entertainment, creating new things that honor the storytelling traditions that we love. Well, I would like to make RRR an honorary member of the Iron Age, whether or not such a honor would be wanted or accepted. This is an Iron Age film. It is absolutely what we need. And I am so glad that Hollywood does not have a monopoly on art or culture, and RRR is absolute proof of that. I hope this film continues to just blow up and go absolutely crazy. I hope there's more films like this. We need an RRR verse. Okay, all right, I'm getting carried away. It's probably time to wrap this thing up. The Oscars are the British Empire, and RRR is here to overthrow them. This is Swords and Starships. I hope you did enjoy my review, Sailors and Starnauts. leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about RRR. And please do like and subscribe. I thank you for listening. And until next time, sailors and star nuts, this is Captain Garrett saying, I will see you out there. Make sure to check out my novel series, Blood and Oak. It's available now on Amazon. It follows the sword and sails adventures of Midshipman John Sullivan. When his sister is kidnapped and sold into slavery by the Barbary pirates, this daring young Navy officer embarks on a suicidal quest for rescue and revenge. It's available now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and a fantastic audiobook narrated by Travis Baldry. I'm not just giving commentary and commenting on the problems in entertainment. I'm doing my best to be part of the solution, and I would be truly honored to earn your readership and your support. Until then, I say hail to you, hail to the fellowship, and hail to the Iron Age of entertainment.